So we have almost completed tMap related options. I am going to just recap again. So what are all options and how we are going to use in our daily life. So tMap is a very important component. It is I told you, right? If you talk about ETL in talent, so ETL. So T is a transformation. There we are going to use a tMap. So tMap is a one the only best component which is available. You can do a number of transactions if it is going to be a flat files or relational databases. So you can have to use the tMap only. So other transformation components are there, but those are all not having these many options or this kind of source to target mapping related options in that component. So here and there you see that different components like a different like a teaser roach which you can pass the data from source to target. In between you can write some logics and all, but not this much flexible, and you don't see this kind of graphical representation of any other component which options. So I'll create a one test job to recap all the component like talent tmap related options. Okay, so very important, so just listen carefully. So I'll copy this source file, I'll copy this pixel flow, and let's copy the map. Okay, I'm copying these three components into other job. So where you can see all the options, or yeah, we have all the things. Okay, so now I'm going to connect with the log row. Okay, so remove this. I'm going to remove this. Okay, now you see, right? We have a source. Source is called file which has a data of 10 records or 11 records, and it is a CSV file, and you want to do some kind of transformations from this file, and you want to print on the console. Here you can write, you can put any output file or any output DB component. That's fine, but still you are trying to do some transformations. For there we are using a tmap, and we are trying to match with our state. So state codes we are maintaining another table which is used a tfixbo input, and you can see that what we have like a states and related state codes. Okay, so now you are using the tmap. So here once you started using tmap, you see that one source, it is going to be a main connection. So you can see the main connection, this is going to become your source. So it is a driving table for your output. So most of the fields which are we are expecting or we are trying to generate from this source, and other one is going to be always only one main you are going to have in a tmap, and other whatever inputs you can connect n number of inputs, but all inputs will become a lookup. So you can see that main connection, when you connect to tmap, automatically the connection will become a lookup. So lookup in the sense it's going to be a like a it's going to be existing data which you are trying to join, or you are trying to match with that source table, which is a driving table for your ETL process. It is a flow, whatever job you are generating. So lookup means always it's going to be a joining, or you are matching the data between these source and different lookups. So you can add a number of lookups. It's going to be a situation you have to join with a different table. Like if you have a employee and you are going to have a department, and you are going to have a contact details of employee. So contact details is another table, and a department is another table, and employee is another table. So I want to form the full record of employee, then I have to match with uh, tables of other tables which are going to be have department details and contact details. So I'll join with employee. So commonly you'll have a employee ID between a department table and contact also. So I can get the his phone number and address from the contact table. And you want to get the department. So which department and what is his role in the company. So that kind of details you are going to keep in a department table. So you can join between these two. These are all going to be associated tables. So you cannot maintain in a single table all the details of employee. So in our right now, right, if you are seeing the full view of your profile details in your company, if you go to your profile in a company, you can see lot of fields which are going to talk about your details. What about your career, and what about your experience, and what about your salary package, and whatever your HRA, DA, TA, whatever OT, all the details you will see in the form. But all these details they'll keep in a like a it's going to be a normalized form. They don't maintain in a single table. It's going to be normalized, and you can see in a different tables. But when coming to output, you are going to see as a single output. It's not a single output. Same way. So for that purpose, that's where you have to design a data model. So data model, when you are design, you have to be careful when you don't want to duplicate the columns, or you want to reduce the number of fields in a table and you want to use in another table. So these kind of things like a fundamentals when you are designing a table, that is called data model. So data model itself, you have to give the better like a best kind of table design. So what fields need to be there and what is to be associated with other table, these kind of thing. So now coming back to our process, like in tmap is connected, and now you see that one input and one in lookup. So now what is the match criteria for this situation? So when you want to match with this column between two tables, so you have to select and drop that column. Okay, so you can see, and whenever you connected, you can see the settings option here which will be highlighted. You can see that red mark which will indicate you want to change some changes, you can do that. Now you can see that four options which are the key for between joining between two tables. You can see the lookup model, match model, join model, and store temp data. So this is the first store temp data. When we are going to use, if you have a huge volume of data, you don't want to run in memory of data, then you want to store temporary in your local machine. So wherever your job is going to run, you can give that some path which will create a temp files in that location. So that's where you can use the you can select the true, and you can pass the where you want to store that path. So that will help you to improve the performance of your job, because it's going to keep your all data in a temporary. It will create a temporary files with tmap underscore something something, and it will generate the data whatever is coming from. It will, once you load the lookup, so the data will be stored in your local disk. That's where you can pass the path of any path you can give it. So after creating that temp files, it once the process is completed, automatically deleted. If it is a huge data, you can able to see that temp file creation and all. If it's a less data, it will be quickly, it will create a file, and it will be wipe out that files and all. You cannot see that kind of temp. But when you go with deal with a huge data like 10 lakhs, or at least you can try for 1 lakh data in a lookup just to join, and you can store this temp path and all. You can see that temp file creation in your local folder. Okay, so now you can see one more option, right? Enable auto conversion of types. So this is a if you have a source side, you have a kind of string or something, but right side you want to get as a integer type, then you can give it as a enable auto conversion type. Means it will automatically convert your data type whatever you are expecting from source to target. So I'm going to enable this. Okay, this is to in implicit conversion of your data. So data type is going to be converted automatically. So now I'm going to change the source side it is a integer. Okay, it is a, I'm going to change it as a string. Okay, so just to understand that auto conversion, and I'm going to change here as a integer instead of string. So here you can see, right, zip is I converted as a string, and here I was taking as integer. So when it is running the job, it needs to auto convert that data type. Okay, so now coming back to the join model, so we have a two join models in tmap. One is a left and inner join. So we don't have full outer or a self join, these things. You have to design your job to get that full outer or left or right outer join, those things. But mainly they are giving inner join and left join. Inner join means between these two tables, whatever you are matching the column should be matched, then only all the matched records only you are going to get in a inner join. So we are going to try that first. So inner join selected, and always default is going to be unique match. So in your real time it's going to be a unique match or a first match criteria you are going to use. All matches and all rows, these things are a very rare case we are going to use. It's a like a, even there is no chance of 2% also using all rows. All rows is a crash join. So where you can see that match model, right, you can see all rows, unique match, first match, all matches. So all matches we have a chance to work like a 10% out of 100%, and all rows is a not point not 1%. You are not going to use a all rows, but for unique match is a default when you are doing with the inner join. So unique match and first match is going to be a vice versa. So first match will give the first record, unique match is going to give the last record of entire that matched criteria. So if you have a state with three rows, so it will find the last row, third row is going to return by the unique match. If you have a three rows, first match is going to return the first row. So that is going to be a vice versa. But you cannot say technically it is going to it is going to match each and every row, and it is going to return the last row. That is what like a unique match is going to perform. First match it won't check for other records. If it finds a matching criteria with that column, then it will return that first record. So that's where you have to like you can keep in your blind code for that. Unique match is going to return the matching criteria with the last record from the data, and first match is going to give the first record of with respect to the match criteria. So these two are going to be mainly we are going to see in your real time. And all matches it's a depends. So depend if they want to get the left join, and with all matches whatever records are there in a lookup you want to get it, then you can go with all matches. All rows again, it's very rare, so don't worry about all rows. But people will ask what which scenario you are going to use the match models. Can you give us the explanation of each and every model? So keep in mind when you are explaining, you can tell that take a one good example, prepare that with example, and you can explain the when you are going to use the first match, when you are going to use the unique match. Okay, and all matches. So that is about. So now we are trying to inner join with unique match. Okay, this is a default, and I am seeing auto conversion I have enabled. So I want to convert the string to integer, and I have stored a temporary store disk. But here is a situation, we don't have a that huge data, so it will not you are not going to see that what temp file it is going to create in a inbound folder and all. Okay, so now I'm going to run this, and I want to, so I'm trying to get the data which are matched between these two tables. So we have mapped this, and I'm going to get this. So how many records in our source? So where is the path? So we are here, we are using that job, so we are having a global variable. I'm removing this, and I'm going to select the path of the file manually. Okay, so this is the inbound, and we can see how many records is the inbound file, and we can see, right, 11 records we have. And how many states are going to match? 10 record states are going to match. One record we are not going to see in our output because we don't have a xyz state in our lookup object or a thing, whatever we are using matching between the two tables. So now we are going to get only 10 records out of 11. We have removed yesterday from the three fields, right? That's where we are not getting other fields. I'm just drag and dropping the other fields also. So 10 rows. It is getting the 10 rows, but file we have 11. I'm going to add one more record. Now you see, right? So one xyz record we didn't get because it's not matching with our states. So I want to capture that reject record. How you are going to capture the reject record? So I want to add one more output. So which is I want to capture the output. So I just want to map this all the fields, and you can see this option there. You can find a uh, catch output reject. I haven't given the output. So here you can see two options, right? So one is for if there is any reject are captured. So you want to capture the rejects from inner join. So you can just simply use the where option is inner join reject true. So what happened? Whatever is rejected by the source, so this is rejected. So there is 11 rows which are xyz is a state is not there. That record you want to capture in a separate output, you can use the based on this in output you can select the catch output reject, or you can use the inner gen. Two options. One option is for catch output reject. The above output whatever rejected you can want to capture, you can use the t output catch reject, or catch inner and reject output. output. But inner join reject, when it will work, if you selected the inner join only. If you are not selected inner join, that this will not able to find the data. If you are have left join but you are trying to catch the inner join reject, then it will not work. So now you see that option, I have selected inner join reject capture. So we are expecting the XYZ record should be in output 2. So now you can see, right? So the reject record, which is a XYZ, whatever we have added at the end, right? That is captured as a reject, and this is a matched data between the tables. And same way, you want to write any criterias. So you want to check any criterias, again it's going to be the same. So if you want to try with like a filter condition, so based on a filter condition you want to get, so you want to get records only which are going to have a city Hyderabad. So you can add filter conditions. That is a filtering you want to get for different outputs. So there you can select. So this is going to capture the records which are having city is equivalent to Hyderabad. So this is going to capture whatever inner join match records. So now we are going to see only Hyderabad match records in the second output. So the filtering criteria are based on join rejects, which are all you can be done using the tMap. So in other components you don't find this kind of flexibility to filter the data or join match models, whatever. So whatever we have the criteria that cannot be performed in other components, but tMap has the only option which can do. So now you see, right, only Hyderabad data I want to capture. So requirement, based on requirements you can create a number of outputs for the uh, outputs for a table, so to load. And I'm going to use the t catch output reject. So and I, if you want remove this inner join and you want to put some criteria here, we can add in the filter criteria again. So here are three options you can see in the settings. One is catch output reject, catch inner and lookup inner join reject. Inner join reject, when it will works, when you joined inner join in the source side. If you not matched with the source side inner join, then this option will not work. So you have to carefully read that catch lookup inner join reject. So based on the rejection, like based on the lookup, whatever match is not happened, that that records you want to capture, then you have to use the catch lookup inner join reject. And other option you are seeing, right? So that is a just a schema. So if you have a schema in a repository, you want to get that schema, you can select that repository. So always we'll have a schema selection built in and repository means once you created you can use anywhere, so reusable. So it is a metadata which can be referred from like your local repository or remote repository. If anybody creates the metadata, you can use that, you can import that metadata. So if you select repository and you can find that a schema related information where you want to get that schema and all, you can select that. Whenever you select the repository, then automatically the schema id new column added, and you can select that whatever customer details. If you have that, this is address as same data, that right. So you can select that, automatically that will changes the schema. Okay. So the schema you can select from the repository. For that option is schema type. So you can select there built-in or repository. I'm canceling this. We don't want that right now. So you can, if you are not saved, then automatically it will be there your original. Okay. So right side, we have a settings option. The setting option is going to have three things. One is catch output reject, catch lookup inner join reject, and schema. So schema selection can be happen from built-in or repository. So repository is a flexible for you. Once you define that schema in metadata, so you can easily get that whatever schema you have defined in a thing. So now I'm going to remove this inner join reject. Okay. and I want to keep this one, and I want to remove the, I want to put some condition. So I want to filter condition I want to add here. So what filter condition I want to add? So I want to match criteria between state. So state, this one, and state name. So I want to match between these two columns. So how to match this? I'm doing, even I'm using a left join, but I'm adding a match criteria to get the state should be matched with the lookup state name. Okay. So now I'm going to run this. Again, how many rows we are going to get here? Now left join we used, but we are added a filter condition in a right side for a output. So how many rows? 10 rows only, because we have a filter check in our source side. Now you see, right, the filter criteria added in our so right side. So it is a matching data, and we try to get the other record. So then we already selected a catch output reject. So what happened? The XYZ record is not satisfied the filter condition which we have in a output 1. So output 2 is captured that, and it is capturing in a second output. So now you can see that the reject of record is not matched with Naveen. So that record is captured. So when we are going to capture the output reject, when you have a filter criteria, when you have a unsatisfactory data in your output output 1, then you want to capture that in other output, then you have to use the catch output reject. Okay, or you have to use the inner join reject, then you select the inner join reject true, then other output will capture the rejects. So two options when you are going to use the catch output reject. If there is a filter criteria on your output 1, then you want to get that output to that reject records, then you can use for catch output reject. Or other option is when you want to capture if the joins between these left side things, it is a inner join and unique match, then you can get that no, inner join reject true. These two options when you are going to use, one is for if the join is inner join, then you want to get the rejects, then you can use the inner join reject. Or you want to get the output which is not satisfied the other output. So two outputs are there. One output is going to capture which is matched with the state. Another output whatever not matches are satisfied by the above condition, that we are capturing using the catch output reject. So these are all three options, and we are familiar with filter condition. So n number of filters you can add, a or condition or and condition, you can put n number of conditions to filter the row level data, and this is a just to filter the column name. And these things I don't need to explain much. Just to, you want to add multiple outputs, you can click on plus. You want to delete something, you can delete. Or you want to swipe between the outputs, then if you here in this situation you cannot swipe, because you are creating output and you are adding a filter condition, you are trying to catch that rejects in other output. So you should not swipe this as a order 1 2 order 2. You cannot swipe between these two because it's a dependent, because you have selected the catch output rejected based on this match criteria. So if you want that kind of output, then you should not swipe now. So if there is no filter condition, it's just trying to catch some few things, and you have add, you can add this one, right? You can add this filter criteria, don't, then you can remove that catch output reject. Just you can copy this, and you can remove the this option. You don't want to use this option, you just want to use the filter criteria itself in filter area in the second output. There you can put just not equal to, so you can add a not equal to. So capturing the rejects and capturing the whatever based on your requirement. You can play with the expression editor so that you can get a desired output of the tables. So what tables you want to do, what load. So you want to capture rejects into another table, or you want to get the match tables in other values. Those things you can handle in the expression editor based on your. So now you can see still one record is captured, again reject record, and we don't have a inner join reject, so other record also captured in a first output also. So this is a rejected record which based on your filter criteria in second output. So you can able to play without selecting the catch output, but here you don't want to state name unmatched data, then you should not use the in left join. Okay, so that is the thing. Next okay, then and we talked about auto conversion. So auto conversion, right? So here you can see that it is a string type, but here we have a integer type. So integer type is converted automatically, we didn't get any error. So we didn't get any error, so automatically it is printed the output, so there is no error. So auto conversion is happened from string to integer in a zip code. So zip code we have taken as a source side we have taken as a string, but right side we have taken as a integer. So if you are not like if you want to do auto conversion, or it is going, you are not interested to do that, so what we have a component t conversion type, you can use it. So or you just want to tmap itself, you can use this option. Okay, t conversion type we'll talk about later, but this is a inbuilt tmap has an option to convert the data type, so automatically it will convert the source and target between the data type. Okay, I'm disabling this, I'm removing these things also, we don't want right now. This is a simple job which don't have a huge data, so you don't need to match this, because it's going to be create a temp files and all. Okay, so these are all match models. You need load ones, I think no need much explanation. So load ones is going to happen one time. If you select the reload, each row means whenever source row is coming, source record is coming, every time lookup will be refreshed. Lookup will be reloaded. That is called row reload at each row, and reload at each row at cache. So that's going to be stored in a cache, like it is going to be keep in a memory. It's like whatever is refreshing, it is going to capture in a cache. So it will be cleared once the your job matching criteria and everything completed. So those are all three options. And coming to match model we discussed, and join model is going to be inner join, and store tmap data is a disk storing. So disk storing, whenever you are running any server, you can keep that temporary data to improve the performance. And right side we covered the settings of catch output reject and catch inner join reject, and schema you can get from anywhere built in our repository. And auto map, I think you guys have practiced. Auto map means if the fields are matching between the source and the target output, if the field names are same, not about case, it is a case insensitive, but you can make sure what fields are you are using, the content of value of the field name should be matched, then you will use the auto map. Automatically it will get mapped. So if you want remove, you can remove it. You can remove this id, just you want to map again, just you click on auto map, then it will automatically fetch. And now see, you see, right, the it is identifying id not between the two tables. It will identifying id field, where is that, you are not specifying, right? You have to get from the which table. So you are not specifying which table have id and all. Automatically it is looking for between the tables, and it identified that id is available in row 4. So id in available in row 4, then automatically it is getting mapped. When you have id, just to understand better, I can add id here, and we'll try to auto map. So what will happen, we'll see. So now I'm removing. So now what happens when you type id? So always it is going to get from the source. Now if you try to select this and you are trying to get the auto map also, always it will go for source table. So it will get from the source table. We have a we have in a lookup also, but always the mapping auto map will happen from the source. So that's what you are no you have to notice here. So I'm removing this and again auto map. So I'm going to select this one auto map. So now again, so whatever you select, still it is going to get the id from the source table. It has that sense, that knowledge, so where to get the auto mails. And specific to you want to map from the other map, so you can just drag and drop from the other mapping other table. So you can just drag and drop. That is up to us. So how you want to get, and what is the requirement to get the lookup table, that id field and all. So otherwise it will just map from the source automatically when you auto map, or you can drag and drop. So that is the advantage of auto map. I'm removing this. So you can create a number of outputs same way. This is for unmatched state names, and you want to add one more. I want to separate the Andhra Pradesh data. I want to separate the. So you can create a number of outputs, right? So that one also we can try. So now you can see four outputs, and I want to get output 3 for only Andhra data. So I want to separate the Andhra data in output 3, and I want to separate the Telangana data in separate, because all the policies and all the business criterias I want to separate between the states. So how you want to do that? You want to match criteria. You want to check the state is Telangana. Then I don't want to get into same. So I don't want to get into the output 3. Output 3 is a specific for other states. So I'm separating the state datas. And same logic I'll copy, and I'll change the state to Telangana. Minimizing this, and I'm going here, filter criteria, and I'll put as Telangana here. So and I want to get the state code from, now I want to use the state code from lookup. So you can map the state code from lookup, and here also. So four outputs we are generating. One output which is whatever we have data in between the matching or unmatching, whatever we want to get it. Or still you want to get only match data, you can use a inner join and you can get that. Okay, you can get that in first match and a first output. And second output, we are trying to get unmatched states between these source table and lookup table. So that is second output. And third output, we are trying to capture only Andhra Pradesh related data into the separate output. And for fourth output, we are trying to get only Telangana related data. So now what we have to do, we have to create a three log rows, two log rows to get that separate outputs of states. Now there is no dependency between the outputs, so you can shuffle the order. So you want to first get the Andhra data, then you can put that order as order 4 as order 3 as a first order. So you can see, right, order 3, order 4. So order 4 is for Telangana data, and order 3 for Andhra data, and order 1 for whole data, order 2 for unmatched state data. So like that, different criterias and different outputs you can able to generate using the tMap. And here only one source input and one is a one lookup. So two input tables, and you are trying to get a three outputs. So where we have a conversion issue, state code is string here. String, this is good. So we have selected zip as a string in a source, and we are selected output as a integer. So that's where it is asking to convert. That's where you have to enable the thing. Otherwise, what we have to do, you have to make sure the source type and target type is equivalent. Otherwise, it will throw error. So I am going to change here as a string. So I am not using tMap auto conversion. So I want to go with built-in data type, whatever it is there in our source. So I just want to make sure same source, whatever data type is there in target also, I want to get that. So now you see, right, different outputs. So six, you can see separate for Hyderabad. We have a 3 records. All records you get from the first and third one is you are having Andhra data. Here it is not a table. So now you can see that table format for output 3. So now you see Andhra have a 6 records, and Telangana we have 3 records and one unmatched data between states, and one has all data what we have in a source. And we have get the state code from our lookup table. And you want to add one more lookup, so you can simply add a tfixpo input, and you can try to get that each and every id between. So I want to generate a designation or a department. We'll give a department. So I'll go with the schema. So id, I want to get a department. Okay. So I'll add. So one, department one. So we have a five IDs. So we'll go with only 2. Okay. So who is the one? So just I'm doing a designation. It's not really a department. We can change to designation. Okay. Okay. So based on employee ID, I want to get their own their designations on data. So now what is our criteria? So this is a left join, and I want to get the ID. So ID, I want to match with ID. Let's say I want to use a inner join on this, because it's going to be match. All the records should be matched between the ID, because whoever employees are there, that the designation based on their employee ID. So I have loaded the data. So it's going to be inner join I'm going to use, and I'll get the designation on my first output. And here I want to, here also I want to just use the inner join, so that I'll get, no, I'll leave it left join, because other designation 4 we are going to get, that will not see designation for that person. So now I'm going to run this. So string to string, what is so here ID is integer and here our ID is string. Okay, so this one, so now you have to convert this one as a string or you have to change this as a string. So this is you want to get as a string, then you can see the method to convert this as a string. Just another option, I'm trying to use to string, so then it will match with that data. So this is expecting the conversion. So source table has ID as integer type, and which I have taken another lookup table. It has a string type, so it is not able to convert that. So now it is asking data type conversion. So now you see, right, three records loaded, and we see all other outputs are same. Only we are expecting designation in the first output. Now you see, right, so designations are getting populated: technical architect, project manager. So whoever like matched with employee ID, so all you are creating the designation on your table. So this is how you are going to have different tables. The data model depends and the requirement. Based on that, you have to get the some fields from the lookups from like state code we are getting from the state lookup, and designation you are getting from the designation table, and the final customer like employee details you are getting from the employee source table. So that the combination, so combination of n number of inputs, you are going to generate a output. So this is the final output where you are see uh, required business desired output on the output one. Deactivate, I'm going to deactivate. So here, right, now we are now familiar with the transformation and input and output. Now you can play with any component which can be any DB component. Just we are going to connect the DB component and you can use the input and you can look up all these tables and you can get the output loaded into the file or a table. So the main concept, you are all good with the transformation and the input lookup matching models and joining models, everything. Now you see, right, all the data. This is a desired output by the customer, which can be loaded into the employee table, which has a designation and a state code, whatever. So, but source, we don't have a state code and designation. These two fields are coming from our lookup. So with this, we are good with the tMap. So all options we have covered. So you can up arrow, down arrow, these things you can play it, and intermediate. This is for whatever transformations we are doing. That thing can be handled in the tMap, and you can apply the methods, whatever you want to apply the string methods or most of the things. Right, you have to be familiar with the string operations. So I want to concatenate address. Also, we have tried, right? So just you can use a concatenation method or you can use a plus. So plus is going to help. Here you can see, right, address one. So I want to map address one also, this one. So it is a complete address of employee. So this is a desired address details of instead of getting individual address, I want one more field which is going to have combination of address, city, state, zip code, everything. So that is where we have added the concatenation. So we have added name and state and city. So these three are combined in a address one. So you can get that address one as a combination of those fields. But there are individual fields, but the customer wants to see address as one field. All the fields which are which related to the address of the employee, so that you can do through concatenation. So you can find that in now. So now you can see, right, so Naidu and AP and Mongol. So you want to add zip code, you can concatenate the zip code. Like that you can concatenate the strings also, and you have already performed uppercase and lowercase options, and you are checking that TS and TS like a ternary operation. So you can perform that. Generally you will going to work with string operations are more, and data type conversions, and second thing is ternary operator. So ternary operator, you will have a n number of conditions. Based on that you have to do, or you can have a like how I did the fixed input, right? You can handle this way. That will improve the your performance, and coding also you don't need to do much coding. So ternary operation, you want to write a 100 states, then how much code you have to write. Instead of that, you can maintain one fixed input which can have all the details of this. That depends on your thinking level, and what is the need of for particular job, or it is going to be a n number of jobs going to use the same logic. Then you have to design such a way. Okay, hope you guys good with the tmap. Any questions on tmap? I can leave it a open forum now, because tmap we are already almost we are 3 days or 4 days we are covering, and till today almost I have again recap all the options in tmap. So still you have any open questions or any doubts, you can ask on tmap. Any questions? Okay, with this, right, I'm going to explain one more joining component, so that we'll follow that. So there is a tmap like a similar component in talent is a tjoin. So tjoin is what it is going to write. It will have only inner join. It will not have any other joins. You can find here it will have only inner join, and you can get the only inner join. There is no left join, and it will allow only it will not allow multiple outputs. Only one output for matching and one output for reject. Okay, so you can have same tables. So let me copy this. Let me create a new job. So what is our input? We are going to have the same input. I want to get the same input, and I want to get the state code. Okay, so now I'll activate this. What component I want to use for join instead of tmap? So you generally tmap is a going to be a very flexible, and you can do any join or any, you can use a n number of outputs. But tjoin is another component which comes from processing. So you see, right, my job itself I can processing. So this is a related to processing component. You can find tjoin in a under the processing folder, which we have in a tmap also. Can find, right, you can see that processing, under processing you can see that tjoin. So this is a another processing. So data processing, you can see, right, there is a perform inner or outer join. You can read that help also coming on this. So you can find that help. That's okay. You can just go get a help. You can click on F1. You can go through that documentation. So what it is doing, we can read more. So now we have connected to the main, and you can see the automatically whatever the fields you are getting. So okay, and I want to join with this now. mm, So now you can see, right, there is no schema is moved directly. So this is a one for tflow input is a source, and fixed flow is our lookup. Okay, so between this, what you want to match, you can find here lookup columns in output. You want to get all the columns in output, then you can select this. Okay, or you don't want that, you can just select what attribute you want. Okay, id. input key attribute and lookup attribute. So I want to match the state between state. So I just want to select the state from here, and I want to get the I want to get first matching. So I'll see and the group. If you followed the tMap, then it is very easy. Just you can configure the what fields you want to output. So now I want to get output from this all these fields. So now I'm going to switching this. So but what is the match criteria I'm selected? Joining. There you are selecting join in a vertical. So there you are drag and dropping the state between these two tables. But in tJoin, you see that horizontally you are just selecting the fields. So the view selecting the input. Input is going to be your source main, and lookup key is going to be your lookup. So now you selected state from state we have in a source file, and state name we have in a lookup table. So I just join, and what output I want? I want output as selected all the fields from the source. So now you can see all rows. It is matched all the rows between the. So now you see, right, that is rejected that XYZ because you are selected that inner join reject. So if now you see, right, there is no other component you can add. You want to catch output reject also. You can find that output reject connection from the TLagro. You can select this. You can see the inner join output reject. You can capture that rejected output in a separate flow again here also. But this component is specific to join. So it is going to be inner join or outer join. If you are not going to join anything, whatever is there in a between these two, you will get it. Okay. So this is a just to inner join. Now you get the rejected record in a separate flow and matched records in a flow. And now you want to add a department. Is there an option here to join the department also? Is there an option? You don't get option to add. It's a two table join. You cannot get, so it will not allow. You can try, it will not allow. But you remove this and you can join this, then you'll get a option to join. And only one lookup, one input, and you will get a two outputs only. You cannot create a multiple. How you can create a multiple outputs? There is no option in tjoin. So you cannot find output also. Once you connected with the lookup, you see, right, there is no row main or something, only trigger. You want to perform some after completing of join, then you can perform it. So now you want to join with this one, you have to select the input because you want to get the designation. Then you can select this ID and ID. Now you can deactivate this and you can run this. Then you can see the designation. You want to get the designation on your thing, right? Then you have to select the input columns. What columns you want from the lookup. So you can select that designation. So I want to get the equivalent designation. So here you have to add the designation. Okay. I'm selecting designation. Okay. Now you see that designation in your output. So tjoin is going to have a two inputs. One is going to be the main and other one is going to be the lookup, and it is going to return the. So again, we have a same issue. So we have to change this here data type. instead of going and doing. So here I will change to integer. This is a very rare people going to use. If they want a specific to inner join only, then we can use the tJoin. Otherwise we can go with, we can handle with tMap. So tMap is going to be very flexible. Where is the issue? Where is the type mismatch? Cannot convert to string. Okay, so we have defined as a integer, but we have given the double quotes, so it is throwing error. So you should not keep double quotes if it is an integer type. So these kind of simple mistakes we may we may do. So carefully we have to read the error and you have to recall what you have designed in your job. So now you see, right, two records are rejected, and designation you get it, team lead, tech lead, whatever you are getting things, because rejected based on that designation. So Sunny and 4 and 5 we have not provided any designation in lookup, so that's why these two records are rejected, and others are pass matched with the reject, the matching criteria matched. Okay, so tjoin and tmap are under processing components. Tmap is going to have inner and left join, and it has a like you have to define the differences between tmap and tjoin. Even people also ask in interview what is the difference between tmap and tjoin. So you can talk about a number of things in a tmap, like it's going to have multiple match models, and it will have a inner join and left join. But coming to the tjoin, it will have only inner join, and you can have a number of inputs. One is a main, and you have others are lookups in a tmap. But coming to tjoin, it has only one main and one lookup, and you can have a number of outputs in tmap. And here tjoin you will have a two outputs. One is matched records, and other one is a reject record. And you cannot have any transformation over between the table you want to create. You have to use a tmap again. So tjoin is just to join between the two tables and get the rejected or matched criteria records only. Like that you have to compare and you have to tell the differences. Now you are practically understand what is the difference between tmap and tjoin, so that you can explain that all the differences. So just read the content of theory, so that you will get more explanation when you are explaining the difference between tmap and tjoin. So with this I'm going to stop here. So we are covered with transformation also. Now we are familiar with reading data and writing data and doing some transformation between. So we have dealt with still now files. So we are going to start with file with db and db to db. That combination we are going to start from tomorrow, and we'll keep adding the transformation and some more components to our exercises. Please practice the tmap and tjoin, and whatever other components we have discussed, try to implement in your exercise when you are practicing, so that you will be able to follow the next. Now you are good with the file system, which is having a input, and you are handling with the multiple lookups. And instead of here file, we are going to have a db component. So db component, you are going to connect the credentials, and you are going to read from the table instead of reading from the file. So the process is going to be simple now. So you are now familiar with the transformation and reading components and writing components. So component is going to be replaced, and what component and what features we have
in that component, that we are going to just verify based on the technology. If you are using MySQL, then you go with the MySQL syntaxes. If you are using Oracle, then you go with the SQL syntaxes. The dealing with the flat files is a part of little difficult, and then transformations. So we are covered that files related all the whatever real time they're going to use. And transformations, tMap is a tMap and tJoin. Most jobs, like most of the jobs, you can see only tMap, and they have a like they are specific to use a inner join, then go with the tJoin. So practice the processing components tMap and tJoin. Okay, when you are explaining what are the components you used, also you have to say inputs, processing components, and output components. That is the process of explanation. In between you have any data quality components. So we have used one or two data quality components also in previous exercise, unique row and all. So you can tell what do data quality components used. You can say t unique row. And miscellaneous components, n number of, you can say miscellaneous components. I used a T row generator, T fixed po input, and T unite, like that. You can say T unique, T unite, and T replicate. So a number of components you can tell that. And log row. So logging components is log row we are aggressively using, and custom code T Java you are using. So like that you have to remember which component from the which folder. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. We'll continue the exercises on DB and all tomorrow onwards. So please be practice with the tMap and tJoin. Okay, I'm going to stop recording. If you have any questions,